Now, welcome again to the United Unbiased Show. And tonight we have an esteemed guest, Jahsiah Donaldson,
Okay.
excellent player who has done it on a very high level. Welcome, Mr. Jahsiah. How are you doing, sir?
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Excellent, man. Excellent. So, Jahsiah, just let's start by having you telling us a bit about yourself and your experiences.
So like I said, my name is Jahsiah Donaldson. I'm 27. I started off as a 4-year-old at Manchester United. My parents didn't want me to be on the street. Didn't grow up in a privileged area, so they want me to be in the streets and getting into the wrong crowd. And I got brothers that 10 years older than me that play football, so they wanted me to follow suit. I ended up getting really good, really early. Signed for Manchester United. I was there for a year. I got to speak to Sir Alex Ferguson. Got to meet all the Man United players at the time, like David Beckham, Nicky Butt, Ryan Giggs, and they come to watch me play as well. I got good reviews. And then I left Man United. I signed for Leeds United because it was closer to home. It was a struggle to get to training after school some days. And they put a good offer on the table. It's just an offer I just couldn't accept at the time. And then I joined Leeds United.
So we're going to start with Manchester United and then we're going to move to Leeds. How was it though? When, for example, was it intimidating to meet someone like Sir Alex Ferguson, who is, as you know, one of the greatest coach of all time, David Beckham, who was this glamour boy in football, one of the most famous footballers you could ever find around at that time. How was it though? How was the place? How was it?
That was very nerve-wracking. Very nerve-wracking to meet the boss, which is Sir Alex Ferguson. Especially at such a young age, I was in awe of him and all the players. Once you go into the training ground, which they still have called Carrington, they had all these famous guys all over the wall. So to see these guys in person, it was definitely an honor. And to notice, I remember the first time they actually come to see my age group to train. I didn't see him. I just could feel the atmosphere behind me, and it was on a higher level. And to see him, like, to notice me training was very nerve-wracking. But when I got through, I had a conversation with the guys after, and I remember it very well. It all went great. And not long after that, in fact, I had a personal technician coach from Holland that come to teach me extra technical ability, because I was advanced for my age group at the time. So when I was 4, I was training with it on the 6th. And I remember what they had to do. Say they had to hit a box, I had to hit a dot on the wall. That's all I remember. I remember being like whatever they did, I had to refine it, to refine my skills and my technique. And Sir Alex Ferguson gave me like really good praise. He said I was like Ryan Giggs' technical ability, because we're both left-footed. It was really good.
That's a great review, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent review, man. If Alex Ferguson compared you with a legend such as Ryan Giggs, then that's a great review. Mm-hmm. And you said you moved there to Leeds. What triggered that?
What happened? I had a coach at the time. Remember, I said the personal trainer that was Dutch. Mm-hmm. So, which I learned a lot later on in life, that I had a meeting with my parent, my dad at the time, and they put money on the table for me to sign a contract, which at that time is illegal. It's not something that I think you're supposed to do. At the time, it was 15 or 16 you had to sign, and I was 4 when the offer came around, which I was later told. was money plus extra incentives. But yeah, it wasn't worth the ban at the time. So yeah, we kept bumping heads to kind of up the bid and stuff, and now I decided to go to Leeds, which is kind of a no-brainer because I was living in Bradford at the time, which is north of England. So it was closer to get to.
Okay, so you transitioned from Manchester United to Leeds. So what happened at Leeds? How was it at Leeds, man?
Leeds is very good. Very like at the time there was I believe there was in the Premier League. There was in the Premier League still there was like Lucas Radebe.
Yeah, the South African guy, yeah.
Yeah. So it was them when I signed. Which, if you've ever seen the training ground now, it's one of the best in Europe. When I was there, it was really bare minimums, but I really enjoyed it. I was there for 10 years. I seen that as my home. That's where I grew. I learned a lot of experience. And the thing with Leeds as well. For me, anyway, personally, I always got on with the first team players. There was never too big time for the youngsters. There was always like if you was good and they could see potential, there's always come and talk to you and try and give you advice. As well as like most of the first team coaches that was there. I had a good relationship with them all, to be fair. Apart from when I left there, yeah, but no, it was good.
Okay, so you said you spent 10 years at Leeds. So Leeds is like your home. And now we have Leeds back in the Premiership, playing in the Premier League. So you're a fan of Leeds, man.
Yeah, I still got a lot of friends that are still there to this day.
Yes.
So I'm in regular contact. So yeah, I'm a Leeds fan at heart.
Which is excellent. And so no, so you spent 10 years at Leeds and then you moved on.
Yeah.
You moved on.
I moved to Man. So there was a manager that come in at Leeds who his playing style was very different to mine. He wanted tall, physical players. I was skillful. I held on to the ball a bit too long than he would like. Which when he came in as well, all the technical coaches, they all left to go to various different places. So when they heard I was having troubles with the manager in like bumping heads with contrast playing styles, Man City came with a couple of other clubs as well. But Man City came calling and said they was interested in me to go down there. Which it ended up being a good decision. I enjoyed it. It's very different to Leeds United though. That's when they come into some money. That's when the sheikhs first started coming, getting involved, and Leeds was more of a working man's club, whereas Man City was a luxury club.
This is a thing, man.
Yeah, we had players from like the next big thing coming from all over the globe every other week, coming in private jets and helicopters that's going into the training ground, and big, huge, massive personalities. But I enjoyed it. It was really, really good. I spent 2 years there. It's really good.
So I want to talk to you about you, the individual, as it relates to how would you see yourself? What type? You mentioned earlier that you are a skillful player. Sir Alex compared you to a Ryan Giggs. How do you see yourself as a player? Because you're just 27, right? So right now you should be in the prime of your career, because most athletes in that age, 25, 26, 27, up to 30, in and around that era, that is when you'd mature and get to that level where you think you want to be. So how do you see yourself as a player? What type of player are you?
I'm a technical player. I'm skillful, very, very technical. I'm strong as well. I'm quick. I'm very deceiving. I'm quicker than I look. I'm short and stocky. But my brother, who plays football as well, he's tall and lanky, and he's quicker than he looks as well. So we've got good genes. But yeah, now I'm very technical. I'm a goal scorer. I make the harder goals look easy. I score hard goals more than I score tap-ins. So I probably need to work on my tap-ins a lot more. But yeah, I score some goals.
So you're a left winger, a striker, you name it. How do you see it?
I'm a striker on number 10.
Oh, excellent, bro. Excellent.
Yeah.
In a year when Maradona.
I was a winger back in the day. Now I've gone into the middle now.
Okay. Because look at it now, man. In a year when Maradona has passed, we have a number 10, man, a wonderful number 10, left-footed number 10, which is
Mm-hmm.
excellent, which is excellent.
Yeah.
So you were at Manchester City at the time, where at the time Manchester City, they were not champions as it, but they were working towards it because they said there were a lot of big
Yeah.
personalities there.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when there was this when they started getting the core strength of what was becoming to be champions. Like they got Yaya Toure, Balotelli, Tevez, um, Zabaleta. There was Roberto Mancini was the first team manager at the time.
Oh,
Um,
that was recent, bro. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So like Robinho as well. He came in.
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that's when I start first. That's when I went there as well.
So how was it learning from those players, man? How was it?
Um, like I say, it was very different from Leeds United. This was like full of superstars, and all the way right through to the youth team players. There was all superstars in their own right. There was all internationals, or big players in whatever country they came from. The competition was very tough. There was a lot of different kind of personalities, like I say, which was it's all a learning curve. It helps you gain a tougher skin. Um, you wasn't allowed to make as many mistakes as you was at Leeds United because obviously they want you to progress at a quicker rate, which I enjoy. I enjoy that. If you put me in deep waters, I thrive. So I thrived quicker at Man City. In the 2 years I was there, I really enjoyed it, and that was where I would say my technical ability stepped up a game again.
It's excellent, bro, because if you have someone around you like a Mancini and then the quality players that you mentioned, I can see why. So let's see, the journey continues, and you were at Man City, and then how did you move on from there? What happened now?
So I had a knee injury. I did my ACL. So I was out for quite a bit. And then as I was getting fitter, there was always like you hear stuff as well. So there was rumors that they're trying to sign another left winger at the time, who was up and coming star in England. So when I think I had too long out, if that makes sense. So by the time I came back, they already had in mind, like they didn't know if I was going to be as good as I came or before my injury. So it just so happened that my last game of the season and my final season, I played against the guy that replaced me. And in that game, I scored a hat trick. We won 3-0. But I think in their head, it was already signed, sealed, and delivered with the next guy.
The new
So
guy.
but yeah, they said I did well, but yeah, they moved me on.
Oh man,
Mm.
because and the last day, but that's the thing about football, and this is something that I think most young players need to understand. You need to treat yourself well, you need to keep yourself well because injuries can be super, super dangerous to your career.
Mm.
And because in your case, as you said, the final game you played, you played against a person who actually replaced you and you
Yeah,
scored a trick. But it was basically a done deal from there. Um,
yeah. Football. Okay, what people don't know, or what they do find out later on, which I think they should get told this earlier, is it's very cutthroat. You're very disposable. So you need a very thick skin because I know a lot of guys that get to a certain point and they lose faith or they lose heart in it. And a lot of these guys are really good players. They just the what's the right word? The politics in football is
oh,
very, very, very cutthroat. And so you very need to have a thick skin. You definitely need to have a thick skin for it.
wow. So from Manchester City now, what happened? Where did you go from there? After your injury, how was it after your injury?
I felt I felt good. I I think I feel like personally, I feel that people, because it was such a bad injury, and when I left, everyone. So I was 19 at the time, 20, 19, 20 at the time. which everyone in my age group was getting professional contracts to propel their career to the next level. So I went to where did I go after? I went to Blackpool. Went to Blackpool. See politics again. I was there for a year. I enjoyed it very well. The manager had a stroke. I was guaranteed a professional contract. The manager had a stroke, and the number 2 manager came in. The next day he was in charge. He let me go. So I was like how can that happen? So then I went to Doncaster. I was there. I was on trial there for 2 weeks, and like I said, at that time I felt strong, really strong. My technical ability was way far superior than Doncaster's level. So I thought this was a signed deal from the first day. I got the respect of the defenders, the coaches. I felt like I was really good there. And there's Duncan Ferguson, which is Alan Ferguson's son. Alex Ferguson's son. He was the manager at Doncaster at the time. So I was there for 2 weeks. On the final game, that Duncan Ferguson come to see the game, come to watch me. The chairman also came to watch me. So in the game, it was against I think it was West Ham. It was like a pre-season game. The manager put me left back and started, and flew a guy from Northern Ireland to play as a striker. And so you can imagine how the game went for me. It didn't go to plan. So I had a word with the manager after. So look, what happened basically, and all he asked me was, what do I expect? What do I think he expected of me as to put me in that position? I said, I don't know, because I'm not a left back. I don't know. Like you put me against a guy who's a seasoned winger, and you're putting me left back. I'm not a defender. I can't defend. That's not my strength. And that was in a conversation. The guy that flew in, he just said, just keep your head up. I'm sorry, but that's how it is sometimes. And I moved on. I went to Huddersfield Town at the time. After that, I didn't really too like it at Huddersfield. I don't know what. I can't put a finger on it why, but I didn't enjoy it as much. I think it was a bit. It was a bit. So the politics side of it again. So I was in the youth team, which is behind the first team. So it's mixed between the first team that don't play and the youth team. And there's a competition called the FA Youth Cup, which is the FA Cup for the youngsters. And every game, the first team managers to come in and say, listen, whoever gets man of the match in this game or plays well will be in contention for the first team in the next game. There was a couple of guys there before I got there that was always in and around the first team and getting a couple of minutes here and there. So I'm coming in, I'm pulling up trees, I'm scoring goals, I'm doing what I need to do. I'm not getting chose for the first team. So I'm thinking, what's going on? So a team called Bradford City, they had a word with me and say, listen, we want to give you a professional contract, but you need to leave Huddersfield. I already signed a year contract at Huddersfield. So they said, listen, you need to go and terminate the contract at Huddersfield to be a free agent, so we can do this deal, because we don't want to pay money for you if you can be a free agent. Yeah. So I've gone into the office, into the manager's office, and said, listen, I appreciate the opportunity, but there's a certain club I wanna go to. Huddersfield was like, nah, we're not trying to let you go. Like, you're doing well. We want to keep you. So I'm back and forth in the changing room and the office, trying to tell Bradford City, listen, they're not trying to let me go. I don't know what to do. So the following weeks, I think Bradford had an FA Youth Cup game against Southampton with Oxlade-Chamberlain, Luke Shaw. I think James Ward-Prowse was even there. These are fully established Premier League players now. Mm. So Bradford played them. I got invited to come watch the game. The guy said, listen, you'd have played this game and you'd have been on the bench for the first team on Saturday if you signed. So I'm fuming at this point. I'm thinking, there's nothing I can do. The Bradford City won on penalties, which to this day is probably one of the best games I've ever seen live. just Hart won that game because it was Hart versus technical ability, and Hart definitely won the game.
Yeah.
And then the following day there was my FA Youth Cup game against a team called Darlington, which was a non-league team at the time. Which from what I remember from that game, I had 2 strikers that used to play in the first team regular, and the manager said, "Listen, do not give these 2 strikers a chance." These 2 strikers had 1 shot in the whole game and both scored. And then I scored at half-time to make it 2-1. I got all my family down, because it's a big occasion. It's at the stadium. It's a big occasion at FA Youth Cup games. Then I got subbed at half-time. I've scored with 2-1 down. I've scored. I got subbed off at half-time. So all my teammates are like, "Are you injured?" I said, "No, I'm not injured. Like, I don't know what he's doing." And then, so yeah, we lost the game 2-1.
So you scored going into halftime, and you got subbed at halftime.
Yeah, I got subbed at halftime.
While the team was 2-1 down.
Yeah.
And that's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm fuming, and after the game, my brother and my family was like, "Was you injured? Like, why did you come off?" I said, "I don't know why I come off." And then like 3 weeks after that, my contract got it come to the end of my contract, so they're either gonna give me a professional contract or let me go. They ended up letting me go. So then I was like, "You kept me from Bradford City all this time to just let me go at the end of it." So now I phoned Bradford City and said, "Listen, I'm here now. I know it's a bit late, but I'm here." They said, "Now we've only got a replacement." No, sorry, they said, "We've got a replacement, but you can come sign a 3-month contract for the youth team. And if we need you for the first team, then you get involved, but you'll be with the youth team instead of a professional contract." And I didn't have a lot of offers at that time, so I went there. And then, which is funny, so the guy that they signed in replace of me, he ended up nicking my studs in one game. It was only me and him had the same boots. So I'm playing a game. So we're playing the same team, but I'm playing at their ground, and the first team are playing at the home stadium. I'm 3 of my studs are missing. So I'm thinking who's took my studs? So I realised there's only me and the other guy. With the same in what they call molds, like all plastic football boots. On a winter's day when the pitch is not the best, so I'm basically ice skating on a pitch. I've got no grip. So the next day I pulled him up about it. I said, "Listen, like, you take my studs." He said, "No." I said, "There's only me and you with the same boots in here. Like, I know you took my studs." End up having an argument. The first team manager said, "Listen, I can't be speaking to the first team players like this." I said, "Well, you took my studs. Like, what you expect me to do?" So then they kind of terminated my contract there as well. So yeah, it was full of politics. It was politics. It was very there was times when I was gonna quit. I was gonna quit football. Like, what do I have to do? Like, what's all these things are coming my way. Then I just I was playing locally, and the manager for that team knew the manager for Stockport, so the chairman for Stockport County, which was non-league at the time, but a massive club. I think they got like 20,000 seat stadium. Then they're playing against teams with 3,000 seat stadium. They're a big club for the league they're in. Mm-hmm. So he said, "Listen, I know the chairman. Like, why don't you go there?" So I've gone there on my debut, or no, my trial. I scored the goal from 25 yards out. The first year was the team was very young, and we just missed out on the playoffs because of the crowd. So after Christmas, we kind of tailed off. We started losing games and drawing games, and the crowd got to a lot of the players. A lot of the players couldn't handle the pressure, and I felt personally we should have kept that same team for the next season, because now they've got experience. We can kick on from the season before. Mm-hmm. But they got rid of most of the squad, apart from I think 4 players stayed. I was one of the 4, And then they got an experienced team in, like a lot of the players from 3 leagues higher that are tailing off in the football game now. They got them down on a lot big money. And it was good, but they just didn't have the legs. A lot of the teams was beating us because they had the athletic ability just to win games, and we didn't really have that. So I felt like the team they didn't know what direction that they wanted to go in. So then I went to my friend time for Plymouth. Our guy always said, "Listen, why don't you come down, try to get into the first team here?" So I did that, did very well. And then just before my meeting to get my contract, I ended up going to prison.
Hey, that's sad.
Mm-hmm.
What? I don't know if you want to talk about that, man. Do you want to share your experience or no?
Yeah. So yeah, I spent 2 years in. It was very eye-opening. What can I say? Like I got into an altercation, which is purely like naive of me. End up fighting, and then just went from there. Really, ended up in prison. So yeah, I did what I can to keep my head down. I did very well. Got on with everyone in there. I learned how to play football with toilet paper because that's all you have in there really. So that's what I was doing to kind of keep my skills to a decent standard. But yeah, I got out early this year in May, and because I know a lot of managers and ex-professionals that are managers now. The second I got out, I just messaged everybody, "Listen, can I train everywhere?" And the standard I'm playing at the minute, I can play way higher than this, but it's just I had to get my my stamina back. I didn't want to make myself look stupid by going high when the running is 10 times harder than what it is now.
That's
And it's
true.
not going to look good on the manager, it's not going to look good on the chairman, it's not going to look good on me.
Makes sense.
People are going to be thinking like, who's this guy? So I started low, and I got a good relationship with the manager. He lets me kind of manage myself, but pushes me at the same time. We had this Arsenal. He's the Arsenal first team fitness coach. He came to take a couple of sessions. So he gave me a lot of good advice and said, "Listen, I'm way technical, like way better than what league I'm in." So I told him, he said, "Listen, like anything I need, like I speak to him to this day as well. I said, anything I need if I want to go down south to go play, some team. So just when the time's right, just to let him know, and he'll be able to do something for me. So yeah, I'm trying to kick on from my experience in prison now."
Yeah, because you're now 27.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. And based on your experience, based on your past, obviously, it's a bit unfortunate with some of the situations that you mentioned before. It was a bit unlucky. As you said, there's a lot of politics in football. And sometimes I do believe that luck plays a significant part. And in your
Yeah,
case, it's a wee bit unlucky for you. And now you are at a level where technically, as a player, you are way better than that. However, as you said, given the situation that occurred recently, you are getting your fitness level up just to move from step by step, move back up the footballing ladder. Am I
of
getting
course,
that correct?
yeah, definitely. Well, that's the thing. I gave myself before I came out, I gave myself a season, to get my fitness back. But coronavirus is kind of,
Ah,
um,
you kind of,
yeah,
yeah.
there's a lot of games being postponed, and I get my fitness by games, push myself in the game.
Yeah. Totally
You
understand that.
can you can train as much as you want, but when you go into a game, it's very different. Like, I don't know why, but you can be fit as anything in the training, but in a game, the first 3 or 4 games, it's very tough, really tough. And then after the third, fourth game, you start to get your fitness propels itself then. But with sometimes we have a game for 3 weeks and we don't have a game for another 2-3 weeks. So my energy levels are fluctuating up and down, but hopefully it's getting better gradually. So I can't complain.
All right, man. I'm wishing you luck with that. I'm wishing you luck with that because I know, given the talent that you have, because if Sir Alex Ferguson compared you with Ryan
Right.
Giggs, man, you're super talented, bro. So I know that eventually you get back up the table as it relates to the leagues and the level that you're playing. Yeah. No, what I want you to tell me about now, because you have some Jamaican background. Could you tell me a little bit about that Jamaican connection that you have?
Yeah, so my cousin, like Joe Thompson, you know,
Yeah.
and like his family. So my grandparents are related to him. His grandparents, they're from Jamaica. So both my grandparents are Jamaican. My mom and dad, they're English and I'm English, but I got a Jamaican sister and brother as well. So my connection to Jamaica is very strong. My brother played for the national team.
And your brother, what's the name of your brother?
Clayton Donaldson. Clayton Donaldson is called.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to stop you right there for a minute. So your older bro played for the national team. Now, and you're 27, man, and you're getting back your fitness and you're moving up the leagues. I know, because when you talk about the Leeds and the Manchester United and the Manchester City, it's because you're a very good player.
Yeah.
That's no fluke. It's because you're a very good player. Now, given the opportunity to represent Jamaica, but because your older brother did, Clayton, given the opportunity to represent Jamaica, what do you think about that, man?
Oh, that would mean the world to me. So I remember this conversation with, I think I've got it recorded somewhere, to be honest. So Alex Ferguson said, I'm going to play for England one day. And I said, no, I'm going to play for Jamaica. This is at 4 years old.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, this at 4 years old. Is it? It's on a tape. You know, the old school tape.
Yeah.
It's on one of them. Dig it out somewhere. But yeah, he said you're going to play for England one day. And I said, no, I'm going to play for Jamaica. So I've always ever been committed to playing for Jamaica if the opportunity arose. I think my brother, he made his Jamaican debut, I think 29, 30, I think it was. So there's still time.
Yeah.
There's still time. Like my best friend, he's played for Jamaica as well, called Joel Grant.
Yeah.
One of my friends, he represented Jamaica. I think last month they played Saudi Arabia and a couple other teams.
Yeah, because they were here not too long ago. They were here just because it's just across the border from me, bro, in Saudi Arabia. But because of the COVID-19, I could not go see it again.
Okay, so yeah, he played for the national team, I think last month. So I was ringing him. It's called Greg Lee. Greg Lee. He's the yeah. He said, "No, I loved every minute of it. Loved it." So yes, it's always something that I've aspired to play for and to represent the national team.
Man, I'd love to see you playing in those national colors, man. I would love to see you in that color playing. That would be a wonderful feeling. And as I said, listen, my thing is why I find it so very nice talking to you. It's because you could actually inspire a number of youths back in Jamaica. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here. It's just to inform, right, the youths back home that the opportunity is there. The opportunity is there, but you have to be mentally strong, given what you told me. You must be mentally strong, because you have some persons who along the way decided, hey, guess what? I'm out of it. I'm not going to be playing anymore. So you have to be mentally prepared for that. So what would you tell some of the 12, the 13, the 14-year-olds back home who aspire to play football at the highest level? What advice would you have for them?
So so I'm doing this later on in life, but they need to, I would say, to do this early. So obviously I've just come from a prison sentence. So my job is to give the manager no excuse. I don't like I want to work as hard, so he can't use that as an excuse. My ability will always be more powerful than an excuse he's going to give me. So that's what people need to understand at a young age, is because a lot of the most technical players I've ever played with, 9 out of 10 of them are playing at a lower level than the players that I would thought would never ever make it. So the players that I would thought would never make it are all in the Premier League, they're playing Champions League football, and it's baffling. But a lot of the guys that the best players I've played with and against, they're struggling in the lower leagues, and I think that's because with technical ability, you kind of compensate that for hard work, which it will win your game sometimes, and a lot of people count on that, but you can never ever beat hard work. So I would always say just work extra hard, even if you've got technical ability. Just make sure because in today's society, it's all stats. Now they want to check how many miles you've run, the kilometers, how many meters, and how many fast sprints, how many slow jogs you've made. Which, whether I agree with it or not, is a different story. But that's just how it is. And if you're in love with football, you want to move with the time. So always definitely work hard and make sure you don't give the manager or any scout or anybody no excuse to say, yeah, he's good, but he doesn't work hard. Make sure you have that tick, because they'd rather someone that works hard that is not that good technically than someone that's good technically that doesn't work hard.
Very good advice, man. Very good advice. Young boys, listen, man. Listen to this gentleman talking to you. Because, as he just said, you might be very, very talented, but without hard work, you're going to stop by somewhere. You're going to fail somewhere. You see, you need to be working extremely hard. So I really appreciate that, man, because I see where I know of a lot of talented players. In my time, bro, in my time, I have a lot of talented players playing with.
Mm-hmm.
But two things: opportunity, for one, and the other thing, some of the most talented players, they were super complacent because naturally their talent could propel them above others.
Yeah.
So they were super complacent. But no, with the opportunities there for you to go overseas to play in these leagues across the globe, as you said, hard work is the key. Just as you have been saying, guys, hard work is the key to success. People always say that
Definitely.
key to success is hard work. And see,
Yeah.
Jahsiah is telling you the same thing. It's a very good key.
Definitely. Yeah. Trust me, all the guys that I was technically the best that I've played with and against, they're struggling in all the keep moving clubs and going further and further down the football. Not going to mold the player anymore. If he doesn't work hard, he just doesn't work hard. He might work harder, but it's not going to get dramatically different. So when you reach 24, if you don't work hard, the chances of you now working as hard, so the manager will say, yeah, he's a very hard worker now, it's very slim. It's very slim. It's different for me because I've had 2 years out. My hunger is reignited, and I don't want to hear that as an excuse. So I consciously work on that more than I do my technical ability.
All right, man. So honestly, bro, it's indeed a pleasure talking to you. This is an eye opener. Coming on the show, sharing your experience, sharing with the younger players how they can actually propel their career forward. So it's indeed a pleasure, man. Is there anything else you want to share before we close this program? Because I don't want to keep it the entire night, man. Because honestly, talking to you, it's fun and it's eye-opening. It's a very good thing to listen to you talk with the experience that you have. But I don't want to keep it for the rest of the night, man. So is there anything else that you want to share with us before we wrap this thing up?
The only thing I would say is it is easier, in my opinion, to be a professional footballer in a way now than it was when I was growing up, because the gap between the youth team and the first team was far greater. Now they have a thing called the under 23s league, which is which is in between the youth team and the first team. So to bridge the gap now. So you're always so you're in and around the first team more. You're playing even the higher youth team, under 23s, are playing league football in cup games. So the Man United, the Wolves, Wolverhampton, the Arsenals, they will play football league teams, first team. So if you don't make it out of Wolves, at Man United, you've already played against the League One, Championship, League Two team. So you can say, listen, I can't play at that level because I've scored or I've done well against them kind of teams. So it is easier now, and than to when I was growing up. Because when I was growing up, it was very much a lottery if you was to get a professional contract and play at that same level, or for your team that you got the contract with. Teams would have to go on loan first and might have to go abroad, which is when I was growing up, English talent wasn't really for that. I remember listening to a conversation when I was at Man City. I can't remember what team won the Euros or the World Cup. It might have been Spain, I believe. So then they went to Spain to go scout the Spanish youth. But then what about the English youth? You're forgetting about the English youth. You're going to Spain because they won the Euros. So then the English players had to go to like, I know a few players that went to Sweden, Norway, the Philippines, even India. They went all over just to try and get proper first team experience and be treated like how these foreign guys are coming and getting into England being treated. So now it's a lot easier, I would say. But keep headstrong. Don't let the first, second, third, fourth no tell you that you're not good enough. Always believe you're good enough. And because I know people that can talk a good game and that brings them through because they believe it in their own head so much that somehow it warps the manager and everyone around them that they should be in the team, and it works. So always be headstrong, believe in yourself, and you might not get to where you want to get, but you get to a decent level. So don't give up.
It's indeed a pleasure, man. Honestly, it has been a great conversation, and I'm going to invite you on again so we can do this again.
Yeah, definitely, I'm all for it.
Bro, yeah, man. So have yourself a wonderful day, bro, and good luck, man. Good luck. Good luck with that career, bro. I hope that you get yourself a professional career, a professional contract now, and move up.
Thank you.
And thanks again, man.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to everyone else as well.
Thanks, man. All right, have a wonderful one now, bro.
You as well.